6 of 8 sessions on Microsoft Excel. So it's session 6 of 8 of Microsoft Excel sessions. So in this session, we'll now be focusing on dashboard building in data in Excel. So that's what we want to do today, and we just want to ensure that by the end of this session, we are now experts in this area. So I'll stop sharing and share my entire screen so that I can easily juggle between other pages with Excel. Right. So what we need to do is to access the dataset. So the dataset link I shared in the chat section. Just access it somewhere. We have it here. Not here. Just check here the group. Yeah. So access this dataset in the group. So once you access this dataset in the group, just copy this link and just paste it in your browser and remove any leading. Paste it in your browser like that. And now this is the dataset we are going to use for today's session. So I expect to see you here. It's in the view only mode, but this is the data we are going to use for today's session. So once you are there, let me know once you access the link. I will see you here on this document. Maureen, have you seen the link?
Emmanuel, I want to be able to open. I'm using my phone.
You are using your phone, eh?
Yes,
Or today you don't have your laptop?
yes.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Yeah. Thank you. So once you get your laptop, you will come to File, Download. Then from here, you'll download as an Excel. So this data is going to download to your local machine. Now, once it's downloaded, you just open it with Excel. So once you open it with Excel, it will take some time to open, just a few seconds, and then you enable editing. Now, this is the data that we are going to use for today's session. This is the data we're going to use for today's session. And so this data is about a telco. It's a telecommunication company, and is looking at a number of things here. So this company stores data on the customer ID, the gender of the customer, if the customer is a senior citizen of basically that country, if he has a partner, or if he has also dependents, if he also has the signature, and then phone services. Phone service, he has access to like phone services, or he has ever requested for phone services at that company. Multiple lines, if he has multiple lines. Then we have the internet services, which type of internet services the person is using, online security, and all these other data variables. So this telecommunication company stores this data, and then now there are some monthly charges that these people, the customers usually incur, depending on the service that they have subscribed to. And also this company monitors the payment method, and if their contracts are monthly, 1 year, 2 years, month to month, so in terms of subscription. And what are some of the things that this customer does? Does the customer stream movies, stream TV, and so on? And so churn rate, we are looking at the churn rate at which people are, let's say, dropping out of the services from this company. So this company needs to get those insights from this data. And we say that this data, you can get it from the website, from the link we shared in the chat, or this link is also will also be available under the YouTube description once this is ready. So access the data on Google Sheet, then download it, go to File, then download as Excel, and then open it. So this is the data that we want to use to learn. So today's session, we'll start with performing some starting with the pivot tables, because are the ones that we usually use most in terms of helping us making our data ensuring that our data is in order and easy to understand. So we'll start with a few things. We'll start by looking at how many male and how many female do we have in this data, like the customers now. So for you to create a pivot table, what's a pivot table? A table that is like a cross tabulation, where you can be able to have comparing things in rows and columns. And from there, you are able to know the count or the sum or the average and so on. And you can even filter based on other fields. So we are going to understand pivot table once we have an example with us. And so for this case now, we'll go to insert. Once you have the data, go to insert, and then go to pivot table here. So you click on this pivot table, and the pivot table is already sensing the range of the data. So it is already selecting the range of the data. And then from here, you will say you want to go to a new worksheet. That means a new worksheet will be a new sheet that will be opened, where you will need to populate your pivot table. Then you click on OK. So you will see something like this, a page like this. So this page is where we are going to have some pivot tables, a number of pivot tables. So the first pivot table, we just want, maybe for distance, just to know how many male and how many female do we have. So you'll see here the variables that you have. These are the columns that you have in your main data. Your main data is here. And so you just take an element and drag it where you want. Let's say we want to see gender in row. So we'll just click gender in row. So it will uniquely show you how many genders do you have here. If there is any inconsistency in the data, you'll be able to see here. But for our case, we only have two variables. We have one variable, but has two groups, male and female. And then now we want to know how many male do we have and how many female do we have. So we can use this customer ID and drag it to values. You just drag to values and release. So you'll be able to see that you have 34, 88 female, and you have 35, 55 male. So that difference is not that much. So you can even change the row label here and maybe call it now gender, so that you can easily differentiate. So from here, this is what we call a pivot table. Very powerful. I will repeat these steps for another variable, so that we can remember the steps that I've followed to come up with this pivot table. So I'll go to insert. You must go to the data, ensure that the cell is inside your data range. So go to insert, then go to pivot table. But now in this case, we are not going again to open a new worksheet. Maybe just want to have it in this sheet. So we don't want it to be new. So we'll select existing worksheet. Then click here for location, go where you want to have that pivot table, maybe down here, and then you click on OK. So then from here now, let's say we want to know the churn. So the churn, how many dropped from that organization, or from that telecommunication, just how many, like counts, and how many are still customers. So from this data, you can see uh, this we have 1869 people who actually were able to drop from the services that have been that have been offering the services. And so that's the account, like is like account. The easiest way of doing count is by using pivot table. If you want to use the also functions, is fine. You can use the count if, because you already learned about count if. So that's how uh, uh, we use pivot table. So maybe before we go further and further, I just want to just confirm. I just want to confirm with you. I want one of us to share your screen. Today, Maureen is not having her laptop. So, Meshak, can you proceed, and maybe let me stop sharing and maybe you share your screen if you're in the position, so that you can guide you and explore how this really work. And then from there, I'll take back again to the next steps. So we just want to do the tests, do the pivot table for another variable with you.
Okay, thank you. Though my internet is failing me up, but let me just continue and share.
Okay, thank
I
you.
have a problem with my internet. It's very low today.
Okay, no problem. I think it has misbehaved, because I can't see your screen indicated as if it is now sharing, and again it's not. So we are not able to see your screen. We are not able to see your screen. So maybe if you could just maybe stop sharing, and then no problem. We understand the internet issues, so that I can just, in case there is any doubts that you'll experience, any challenges, you just let me know, and then we'll pick it up. So even Maureen, you are free to use the chat section. I will also be keeping my eyes on the I'll also be keeping my eyes on the WhatsApp. So Meshak,
Yes?
I have just
I think.
decided I should just proceed
Okay,
uh,
thank you.
with sharing mine. And in case of any doubts, feel free to ask any question, so that we can move together. So I understand the internet challenges. So now, once you have these pivot tables, so you can have as many pivot tables as you can. So this one is for Chan, this is for Chan. And so you can have as many pivot tables as you can, just to explore insights from your data. Sometimes you'll not be told what to fetch in the data, but with your own curiosity, that's what will make you a good data storyteller. So we now want to proceed and maybe just create um, a first chart, and then from there we'll be able to know more. So this data, again, I'll repeat, is a telecommunication data. And then now the customers, now we are interested in and maybe they are interested in why customers are stopping are using their services, their products and services over a specific period of time. And you can see here that we have 1,869 people who have stopped receiving services from this company. And so if you want to obtain, you have something that we call churn rate. So if you want to obtain the churn rate, the rate at which or the percentage at which the customers are dropping, then you take this yes divided by this value so that you can be able to get your churn rate. So churn rate will be this value divided by this value. This is how you obtain the churn rate. So the churn rate in this company is 26%. When you multiply this by 100, and most probably 27%. This is very high. It's a very high percentage. So this company is now very keen, is interested to find out from looking at the patterns and relationships in this data. This data is the one that usually gives people insights on now how to make a decision. But for our today's session, we are not much interested in the reason as to why or what is contributing to people, or if there is an effect. There is that effect. We call it an effect, or there's that association of people maybe dropping from getting the services from that company, or maybe is it gender, or is it things like marital status? Is it things like marital status that are resulting to this? Is it maybe because now the family size, maybe there are now many and now the internet is now lagging, maybe that's why maybe that services is going down, they are withdrawing from that. And if they in case they are encountering a challenge, there is no technical support, those some of the things that can be able to lead to people now withdrawing from the services. And what is it? And maybe if let's say they usually do streaming, and maybe streaming movie and TV, and requires high mbps, like high internet speed, and maybe it's not up to the standard of the company that's offering these services, up to the speed of the service provider. And so these now are some of the insights that are usually required for a business analyst to help organization now be able to realize why is this happening. And this is usually fetched from the data, like this one, from the customer's data. And so we have performed a pivot table here for male and female, and now let's see how this compare in terms of, you see, when we look at this, we cannot easily note the difference. But suppose we come up with a chart of the same, so we highlight the two, then insert a pivot table chart. So there is usually a table chart here, so I'll just minimize this a little bit. I'll just get out of this a little bit, and then I will still go back. So once you select the data range, you come to pivot table analyze. So here is where when you click on pivot table analyze, you'll be able to see pivot charts. So you'll be able to see pivot charts. So I'll again maximize this. So you'll see here pivot charts. So you just click on the pivot chart, and then from there you will see the most recommended chart. And if it is not, you can go for the one you want. So for this case, let me go with the pie chart because it's only two fields. Pie chart usually looks good, but you can see the difference is very small. Even the pie chart seems to look like they're the same. But let's try to use male, female, and see how different are they. So let's use the column chart. So we just click on OK. So this is the column chart, the pivot from the pivot charts. So I'll change this title to customers by gender. Customers by gender. So that's my title. So I'll hide these field buttons. We usually hide these field buttons. We call them field buttons. So to hide them, you just right click. Then you click on hide all field buttons on the chart. So it will remove to create more space for your chart. If you don't want this legend to be here, just remove the legend to just maximize space. If you don't want to see these grid lines, click one of the grid lines, remove, click one of the grid lines inside, remove. Then you can now choose the way you want to design. You can design your chart better by giving some shape effects. You can give some glowing effects if you feel like you need the glowing effect, and don't beautify a lot. So just make it what you need is storytelling. So you can give some design to your chart, some feeling to your chart. So these are some of the things that when you get time, you can become more creative, so that maybe you can pass your message easily. So this one is a very key milestone, that when you are able to, you just keep trying, you keep trying. So you keep trying, so that you don't end up having any, don't like overdo things. So you just need to ensure that you're not overdoing things, so that things are okay, and so that you can avoid any discrepancies, so that everything can be okay. So once you have your chart, you need to ensure that you just organize it. So let's go to another chart. So these are just like samples. These are samples. So just go to another chart. So another chart, we are now going to this one. So we select and then go to insert. So this one again is pivot table. So we need pivot table is up here. So I'll just click on so first let me select again, minimize this because there's something here that's hiding me to see the pivot table. So I'll click here. And then now I will see the pivot charts here. So again, I'll revert back to the pivot charts. And then now here I can use a pie chart to show me this distribution. So I'll click on it. And then the same way I did to the last one, I will also do to this one. So this one is pie chart. So I'll rename this its title. And this is Chan, maybe churn rate. We can just call it churn rate. And now we can we can hide all these filled buttons again, the way we did for the other one, to create more space. And maybe we can do some also effects on this, so that we can improve on just how, on the feel of our chart. So you can see we have a lot of options here. So when you just hover on one, you can see it's changing things. So it depends on what you want, and so that way you can be able to choose. So again, also simple is usually the best. So simple is usually the best. So you need to ensure that everything is kept simple for professionalism. So that's very, very important for us to note. So I'll just, let's say we have this one here. So we'll just add some data labels on this chart. And maybe this, our data label could be data callout in terms of percentage, so that we can easily know how many male and how many female, not male, but rather churn rate. So how many, which percent. So this is the percentage of the churn. And so we usually take this thing to another page, our visuals to another page, so that this one only remains for pivot tables. So we can just call this pivot tables. So all pivot tables can be here. And then now take all your visuals in another sheet. So you can just take your visual in another sheet and you will call it dashboard. So you call it dashboard. Then now take some of the visual that you have already created here, but here to this dashboard. So we will arrange it better later on, once we have all the other charts that we want to have in this place. So in the dashboard, we usually have some things that you can remove. You can remove the formula bar so that you don't have formula bar, so that you can be able to create more space. Remove the grid lines so that you don't have grid lines there. You can see now there's no grid lines here. You can remove the headings so that you don't have the A, B, C, D. And then you can minimize this here to create more space for you to have your charts. So this is a dashboard, so you can organize it the way you want. You take some of the charts that you have already created to this other side. Then we'll remove these ones in this other side so that we can now continue creating more visuals. Sorry. Yeah, so we can have that there and this here. Okay. However, these individual visuals, we don't usually create them like this. These ones we usually consider to have them as slicers. So we are going to see what slicers mean and how we use them. So this one, like independent variables, like individual variables, we don't usually refer them to be charts. It's better when we have them as slicers, like they can be used to filter the other data. Let's proceed and now create more pivot tables. So what are some of other things that we might be interested in that could be influencing um, that could be influencing our the churn rate. So uh, we're just checking maybe the dependence is do you have dependence? Yes, no. um we can look at that, no problem. So we can look at that. So we'll come and insert, do some pivot table here. So the very good pivot table that we usually create, majority of the pivot table that are usually powerful, are the pivot tables that combine more than one variable. So like for instance, let's see gender by churn rate. That's now powerful, not individual. The powerful one is combination. So let's combine these two. So instead of me repeating the process of inserting a pivot table, I can just copy this and paste it where I want. Just copy, paste where I want. And then when you double click, it will ask you like some of these, choose the field containing the detail that you want to show. Not really. Let me see here. Value filters, label filters. We can be able to filter some things. I'll just check this. I'm supposed to get a table. Field settings. Let me see, pivot table options, show field list, pivot table options. That's pivot table options. I'm just checking here something. Settings, show field list. Yes, so show field list. Then now from the show field list, drag gender to columns. You can see here now, gender now in columns. So you can be able to know like how many female are still our customers, how many female dropped from our services, how many male dropped from our services, how many male dropped from our services, and how many male are still our customers. Now you can compare the gender with the churn rate. That's the powerful way of pivot tables. That's the usefulness of pivot tables, quickly without using functions. So we select the data, click anywhere in this data pivot table here, and click on pivot table. So I'll just minimize this because of my my screen there. So I'll click on pivot table analyze. You click on pivot table analyze. Let me just, I think let me just minimize this first and extend. Let me just go here and extend this back. Something I want to see back here. Just check. It's hiding a lot of things, but I'll just return it back once we are done. So pivot table, you click on pivot table, this will show up. So once this shows up, we can now be able to click on pivot charts. And then now here, we can now choose which chart best suits this scenario. So remember here, we are doing categorical variables. We are looking at gender, comparing gender with the churn rate. So maybe male and female are of different colors like that. And I think column chart can still work well. Unless someone feels like there is another nice chart to use, you can still use this. Or if you use column chart, you can even use the stacked column chart that can be able to tell you that these are male and these are female. Stacked column chart like this one. So stacked column chart are usually also very powerful. So we'll hide all feed buttons. So just right click these field buttons. Just ensure this is selected, then hide all field buttons on the chart to create more space. Add the chart title by clicking on the plus chart element and then chart title ticket, and then now provide here information. So this one is churn rate by gender. Churn rate by gender. So you can remove these grid lines and choose some designs that maybe aligns with your brand, or you can go to the chart that really aligns with your brand. For me, simple is the best. Simple is usually the best. So just make this look very strong. Copy this, go to the dashboard. So remember now we don't need these two. You can see now we don't need these two because we already have one that represents the two. That's the need for pivot tables. So I'm just dragging this up here. Good. Now I can go to back to my pivot table and create another pivot table. Maybe something of interest could be, do you have a partner? Can this be influencing the churn rate? Let's find out. So we'll just go to telco and churn, and then we'll go to insert pivot table. If you want to follow the long route, existing one sheet, click here, specify the location where you want to see this, click on OK. Then now come here, take the partner to rows and take the churn rate to the column. Take the churn rate to the column, the churn to the column, and take the customers to the values, customer ID to the values, so that you can see the counts. So from there again, you will go to analyze. You'll go to analyze. Yeah, you're on analyze already. You're on analyze. So go to pivot charts. And then here we can choose something else. Maybe a bar chart, but also a bar chart that is hey, but this one is no, yes, no, yes, no, but we'll add legends so that we can be able to know what is being shown as yes and no, and is which for which. So we'll know. We'll find out. So Chan is this, while these are the partners. Do you have a partner? Is on this other side. So we can add maybe the axis titles. This one will be the other way around. So axis title will only add here and here. And then the legend labels, data labels is okay. Legend is there already. Legend is here already. So maybe for this, we'll just need to, let's hide all field buttons. And so you see, it will be very difficult for you to know if this is yes or no. So this is, maybe we can now tell this was partner. Do you have a partner? So maybe partner might influence your subscription. And title, maybe add chat title, and now tell this that this could be this we can say churn rate by partner, churn rate by partner status, churn rate by partner status. So churn rate by partner status. So this is the partner, and then the colors are representing the churn rate. Remove the field, the grid lines. Improve some designs on the design. So on the design, you can even change. You can change even the colors. You see, you have the ability to change even the colors the way you want these colors to be. You are not positioned for the static colors only. This one is the customer count, customers, number of customers, and yeah, that is that. So just make some amendments where you want. I think there's design here again. Let me just minimize this so that I can see the design well. Or even format. You can even use format to improve this by making this again with giving some effects, very strong effects. Rotation, if you want to rotate your charts, you can also, but as well you can always see your chart and find out if something that aligns with what you want. But there's no need, because ours is not, these ones are not 3D. Would have repositioned them if they were 3D. So we'll look at our one 3D and see how that works. So you make it glow. So just creativity, like some few creativity in your designs. Just here under format is where you can play around with things. You can even change the outline colors. You can see my image is changing. You can see here my image when I'm hovering on the outline color. You can see my image outline color is changing. You can see things are changing. And if I was to fill with another color, fill this shape with another color, fill this with another color, you see, you can choose that here. And then, you see, so you can choose that here. If that is what you want, or you want this, depending on the brand, on your brand, focus on your brand so that you don't lose the meaning. And then once you are done, copy, go to the dashboard, paste this where you want to see it. Maybe let's say this one, we want to see it here. Just close this and be able to see. So needs to go up so that we can have this at the top here. Then this one comes here. Yeah. And then you can still go back and make more charts. So that one has been partner. Dependents, if you have people who depends on you, can this affect the churn rate? This can also affect the churn rate. So it's the same thing. So just compare everything with the churn rate. Churn rate is like we call it our dependent variable in this scenario. So I'll just copy this, paste where I want to have that pivot, and then now update. So this one we can label them, can be labeling them. So this one is let me just find out which one is which in column and row. So show field list. So partner is in rows. So these this one is partner, and then column label is churn. So you can just label your pivot so that you can easily remember. This one is also partner. So but this one we have to change it. So we need to change this partner to can change this pattern. Now we need to remove this field and then bring another field dependent. So do you have dependents? You just drag it. And now you can already see, so this we can now call it dependent. Here, sorry, you can call this dependent. So you can call this dependent, and then we call this dependent, and this other one we call it the chan, so that you can easily remember chan. Yeah, so once you have this, again you just go to pivot table analyze. We are not using insert chart, we are using pivot table analyze, so that our charts can be dynamic. Dynamic charts means that these are charts that can be able to be interactive. The other charts are usually static. So if you go the other way of inserting from this other side, then that's another scenario. So the charts will be static, but now we want them to interact because we will need them in the dashboard development. So we'll just remove this and insert another chart that could best represent our data. Minimize, pivot table analyze, and then now insert pivot chart, not that pivot chart. So we have used this more, so we can try another type of chart that can best describe our data. So some charts, when you click on them, if you are not sure, they will tell you that they are not the best for that kind of visual. So maybe they require this, at least you'll have some explanation on what is happening. So that bar chart and column chart are fit for this because a lot of data here is more of a categorical. So you can switch between our data is comparison, so pie chart cannot work well here, but bar chart can work well still. So here it means that you will have a lot of bar charts for the representation of our case studies. So we can have another bar chart maybe, and maybe you can make it 3D. And maybe make it 3D, but now 3 dimension will look like this, unlike the 2 dimensions where it doesn't have these edges. So you just right click, hide all field buttons. That's how you hide the field buttons. This is how you remove the grid lines, by clicking on the grid line. And just click on the grid line. I'm just looking for the grid line, this regular line. Just close this. Yeah, I'll just check somewhere where there are hidden grid lines, and you can uncheck from this side. If it's not unchecking the other side, you can uncheck from this side. Add the title to your chart, very important. Put a title to your chart. Our chart is churn rate by dependence. So churn rate by dependence. We add the axis title. So this side is the customers, number of customers.
Hello, Emmanuel.
Yes.
I'm having a problem with my network.
Yeah.
So I'll be on and off, but I'll be following on the recording
Yes.
after the session. But this is not a only presentation, but I'll just follow.
Okay. Pole. Sorry about that. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. Thank you for updating us. So, here now we will have. Now here we will have the churn rate. So let me see. So we have the rows and the columns. So yes, let me add the data label to easily identify this. Add the data labels. So yes, 184. This is for the dependent. This is for the dependent. So this side is dependent. So we will just add the chart title again, axis title. So this is the dependent side, the dependents. And then this is the number of customers. Yeah, so, and then we can remove the data labels. Data labels are not good at that point. And then maybe unless you put data labels, but now you give another maybe data callout. So if you want, you can still have it that way. It is a must to have the data labels, and then copy this, take it to the dashboard. Take it to the dashboard side. So we can have this here. You can have this one here. I've not made more changes on this, more design. So you can just do some designs on it. You can do some design on it, design. And maybe design, we can also, we said on when you want to change the colors, you can come this side. Let me maximize again so that I can see the effects. So to change the colors, you just come this side and you'll see your colors changing. But always stick to the same colors when you are referring to the same variable. For example, the churn rate, you can make it constant. Churn rate, you can make it constant. You can make the churn rate constant such that someone can easily know that yes, no is always maybe red. This one I should even interchange so that the column and the row are different things. So I can just come here, I think it was this one for gender. So and then right click, we can interchange so that we know that everything that is on the legend is the churn. So just right click and click on show feed list, then interchange. Take the churn here and take the gender this other side. I've already interchanged that. So once we interchange that, you can see now gender is down and now the churn rate is here. Yeah, and then now from there we can now make this that way. However, this one is not usually good recommended unless you is a must for you to use the 3D. 3D is not always recommended. We must give you the disclaimer. So you better go for 2D unless otherwise, unless advised to use 3D. However, is also good. Depends with whom are you addressing. Because in these things, your audience matters. The kind of dashboard you need to have. So you'll have something like this, and maybe let's make it maybe smaller. Sorry, let's make it smaller a little bit so that we can have more space to the top to add the title. So this one will have to reduce, maximize here, then maximize down here, and then this comes up to here. And then we can now add maybe this because we're using for learning, so you can add even other just as if you want, but yeah, for learning let's just have this. And then let's insert a shape. Insert a shape that can help us draw the title at the top. Title at the very top. So you can give your title a color to your title that resonates with your what you do or something. So if you have that, you can give, now click on the text box to have your text here. Have your text here, and now write Telco Chan dashboard. Telco Chan dashboard. Select everything. center line, increase the font size. Yeah. And then bring those things. Come here to any of the pivot table. Click on any of the pivot table. We now want to bring slicers, things that we can use to filter our dashboard. So come to pivot table, go to pivot table and analyze, pivot table analyze. You see these slicers. So you click on it, then check all the filters that you want to use. So maybe we'll be comparing. We can just check streaming TV. A payment method, we can use it for as a visual. So we'll use this as a visual, no problem. Those who maybe we might also need to compare the contracts with the churn rate. So I am just seeing some other fields coming up now. So this TV movie, do you watch movie? Do you have device protection, online backup? Do you have online security, internet services? Do you have multiple lines? Do you have multiple lines? So then do you have maybe phone services? Let's just leave that there. Then click on OK. So okay. So maybe that could be okay. Then we can, I think this one is also okay, because this one now shows us the length the customers have spent in that for while receiving the services, this tenure. Then now these are what we call the slicers. You just resize them and take them to the dashboard. So you just take them to the dashboard. You can copy all of them and paste them here at the same time. So I can just select everything. Just select everything and move all of them. I think I left one to this side. So these are the filters. These are the filters. We call them slicers. So streaming movie, I already picked it. So those who do live streaming, you just arrange them. Those who have device protection, just arrange. Online security, and internet service, fiber, so on. You can have it below. Those who have multiple lines or those who have no device at all. And then this one is now the tenure, showing the how long have these people been in receiving these services. We can bring a few charts, like we can bring this chart for the churn, but now the pie chart. So pivot table, insert pie chart. So it was a very small difference, but it's needed. So we need this pie chart. So we'll just make it have the data labels, the data callouts, showing the percentages of these changes. Give the title, churn rate, so that when we filter things, you can just look on this visual and see the changes. Churn rate. generate, and then now we hide all field buttons. Again, right click on the field, hide all field buttons. Then the design, we'll go to the design. Let's give it a solid color, solid fill, and then let's go to design, and then maybe change the color to this, because most of our visuals we have had that particular color. So copy it or cut, then take it to the dashboard. So you can have it somewhere here, but you can minimize it to be small. And so if you can have the same for, like gender, you can also have it here, or for those other things that you could be interested in, you can also arrange them there. So I'll just take this last slicer, which I had already forgotten this side, and have it here, online backup, and then minimize this, that size. So once we are here, we are like 80% done. So once you have put everything together up to this extent, you are like 80% done. Why? Because these your charts will not be able to interact. Everything will not be able to interact all together. So there's some things you need to enable on every slicer. Like every slicer that we have here is based on one pivot table here. I think it was this one. So that only one pivot table is the one that's going to be changing, while these other charts from that pivot table, the other pivot tables will not be able to be having the effect. Let's see. So you see this chart to do with partner status is the one that it will be changing every time we select any value on this side. So you can unfilter this, unfilter this, unfilter this. So that only one is the one that's going to change on these other ones, because all the filters we created them while we had clicked on this cell. So making this cell active means that all the slicers are affecting this particular dashboard. This particular data is affecting that particular data. If you click here on something, let's say you click on no online backup and go to your pivot, you will see that your pivot has been let me see which pivot is that. Is it that one? Let me see, partner. Is it partner? Yeah, it's partner. So this pivot, you can see it has been filtered. It was this pivot. It has been filtered to show only the data for where there is no online backup. So how do we enable the interaction across? So we start from here. You have to click on the slicer, right click the slicer, and then let me see. Just checking something here. Let's refresh data. Just click the slicer. Report connections. So click on one of this. We will need to repeat this process is repetitive, where we will need to do that to apply to all the other slicers. So you have to right click, select the slicer, right click on it, click on report connections. You'll see that only one pivot table has been selected, which is this pivot table with partner pivot table, which is now affecting this chart. If you want that visual, like this first one, to affect all these other charts, then you can now enable all that here by just ticking these boxes. Just ticking these boxes. Just ticking all that and click on OK. Now, when I click on any of these, all these charts will be able to change. However, these other ones will only change still this until I repeat that process. So like for this one also, I'll have to right click, report connections, then tick all these. So that's what you do for all the slicers. So that now when I click on people who stream, you see everything changes. No, no internet and so on. So we need to do that for all the slicers. Have to do that for all the slicers. Port connection. This is good to control the data. So if you have a visual that doesn't affect, you don't want it to be affected while filtering, you can leave that pivot out. So I'll also do the same to this. Do the same to this. Report connection, right click, report connection, check everything. Once you are done with the checking, you cannot uncheck again. You'll see that it will already have been checked entirely. So you cannot repeat. Not checked this one. I think now I am done with the checking now, all of them. So if we had, let's say, a data with the date, we could have used something else called timeline as a filter option. When you come here to, let me first go to one of the pivots. And then now once I'm in one of the pivots, I'll see here timeline. So this timeline is nice, is very good to enable you if you have timeline data to do with age or with years, time, quarter, yearly, monthly, and so on. So that's that. So you can also control the selection also from that point of filter connections. Now once you have your visual like this, now it is fully interactive. For Power BI, when you select on a visual like this, it filters all the other data. But now that one does not work with Excel, where you can click on a component and it filters all across the other one. That's why you have these slicers here to help you do that. Maybe you might need to know how many like people who spend 6 years, what's their churn rate? People who spend 7 years, what's their churn rate? Are they the one likely to leave the company faster if it's like these are years? I think it's months. So, and something like that. And then now you can clear the slicers by just clicking this funnel to clear the selection. If you want to multiple select, like for example, you need to hold on shift, click this, and maybe you need it together with the, let's say we clear the filter, click on this multiple select, there that can allow you to have some multiple selection. So you can clear. If you need multiple select like here, you can click, maybe if it's this one, click on the first one, click on multiple select, then select with this. Like you can select the two like that. So that's for multiple selection. And you can remove the multiple selection by clicking just there. So this is what we call an interactive dashboard. From pivot tables, and charts are now dynamic, are not static. And so when the data updates here, you have an easier time. When the data updates there, your time you have easier. Just refresh the data here, or sometimes it will pick automatic. So just refresh data, it will refresh the data, the pivot table, and the pivot table will refresh the table, the original data. So you don't have to create another charts once the data is loaded. So that's how we develop a dashboard in Microsoft Excel. And you can design the way you want to make it look the way you want. You have control over. However, the last things are now on the layouts, like themes. So you can have different themes here that affects everything. Apart from you designing, you can choose a theme and it will change everything so that everything on your chart can be of the same theme. Like when you click on one, you see that if it's not good, you click like this one, you see if it works for you. If it's not good, you choose another theme. If it's not good, choose another theme. So these themes are good when you want maybe to save your time from uh, spending designing the visuals and so on and so on. Colors, the way you can have the colors you see, and affects across, so you can choose which one is working for you. So that's how we are able to do that. If you have a background image, you can upload the image here. Background image for this your visual. You can upload a background image here. So maybe if it's coming from computer, or you want to search from Bing, ocean. So let's say we want to have this as our background. You selected, then you click on insert. You select, click on insert, and let's see. So you can see now I have that background of the ocean. And again, I can still change my visuals depending on the way I want. So you can see now I have the ocean background. So this makes my data easier to present to my team, and so on and so on. So it becomes very instrumental. I think that marks the end of my walkthrough in data development of dashboard. So it's upon you now to get the data, develop, get the recording, follow along, watch some of the recordings that we had on the dashboard from the same YouTube channel, Beyond Data ICT, and you'll be good to go. Maybe if there is any question on this. If there is any question on this, Maureen. Maureen. Yeah, so today we have focused on dashboard building, and I believe this will help us a lot in what we aspire to do. So that is it, and looking forward to seeing your dashboards sent to me soon. Thank you and have a nice day.